Hey everybody, thank you so much for helping out with the food truck today. I'm excited that you are using it as a tool to help connect your organization with the neighbors around you. So there are a couple quick things that I wanted to go through so that you can use this as an effective tool to connect with your neighbors, connect them to your organization, and do it in a way that's not creepy. So here's what we're shooting for. We want you to ask, listen, connect, and ask. So here's the breakdown of what that looks like. First of all, ask. What we're looking for here are questions that can help cut to the core of what somebody values. You're not really looking for what people's interests are, you're looking for their values and how that might overlap with the things that your organization pursues. So some of the questions that I like to ask are things like, why did you decide to attend this event? Asking why questions around decisions will give you a sense of what they care about. Another question that I love to ask is, what do you love about the neighborhood that you live in? It's another easy way to get to know what they value if they're making a choice about where they live on a regular basis. Or even questions like, how did you end up living in Dallas? It's a good low threshold question to ask so that people will give you some information and their story too. The idea is that you want to ask questions that aren't super personal, but still reveal something about who they are. And while you're doing that, you should be, of course, listening. And what you're listening for is, where is the overlap between what this person values and what your organization values. That this is an important thing to listen for those values and be able to name them. Now, it's important to remember not to force it, because sometimes this is the case. As you're talking to someone, their values won't necessarily overlap with your organization. That's okay. If you try to force a connection that isn't there, that's when you'll come across as pushy or creepy. Don't do that. Not every person you meet is going to naturally connect with your organization, and that's okay. There are a lot of people who are coming to the food truck today. The next thing that you want to do is build that bridge of connection. So if someone values something that you think your organization values and then expresses, you can say something like, it sounds like you really care about fill in the blank here. Now that's a really important thing to do, because what you're doing is you're acknowledging to them that you have heard what they care about. And honestly, that in itself is ministry. That in itself is a gift. For someone to walk up to a stranger, engage in conversation, and then know that that person heard something about them and then reflected it back, that feels good. That makes me feel valued as a neighbor when other people can acknowledge and hear our values. So this first step is really important. Even if they never connect with your organization, you have established yourself as a person who listens and who cares. So always start with, it sounds like you really care about fill in the blank here. And then you've hopefully thought of some things that might overlap with what your organization does. And so you can say, I wonder if you'd be interested in. Statements like I wonder are very invitational without being pushy. So if you say something like, I wonder if you'd be interested in this thing or that thing. An example of this is, it might sound like people value kids. And so if you're a part of union, you might say something like, I wonder if you'd be interested in this thing we do called Capes for Kids, where we make capes for kids with chronic illnesses and then deliver it to them. Right? That's a way of taking something they value, connecting with your organization. Or maybe your group does a lot of work for a school in the neighborhood. That could be something you connect them with. Or maybe it's someone who is a family with young kids, and your school or your church organization runs a preschool. You might connect with that. You aren't always trying to connect them with a worshiping community, so that might be part of it too. So after you make the connect thing, it's important then to kind of make the ask, close the deal. So say, do you want me to text or email you information about it? Give that offer, and then they'll give you contact information. Or they might say like, no, that's okay. That's okay. Still celebrate them, high five them, thank them for talking to you, tell them that you hope they enjoy the sandwich. It's all right. Again, there are lots of people who are coming to the food truck today. You don't need to count on everything, connecting to somebody. So, a couple other tips. Smile. It's important. Smile at people. They'll be excited. High fives are a really good way. People just feel good after a high five. So smile, give them a high five. Celebrate people. Figure out something neat about them and comment on it. Name it. Tell them that they're really cool because they do such and such, or it looks like you really take care of your kids, or it looks like whatever. Celebrate the people around you. It's good. And remember that the main goal in all of this is to look for the divine spark in the people that you're meeting. That this is an opportunity for you to see the absolute best in the people that you encounter in your neighborhood. And this is the thing that I think matters the most. Because what I've generally found is that if you look for God in others, they tend to see God in you. So have fun today. Look for God in the people around you. And hopefully you'll build some cool bridges between your neighbors and the organization you represent. Thanks for being a part of the Union Food Truck. Make a big difference today. It's going to be fun.